Days of Our Lives spoilers May 5th. Alex's desperate plea and Sophia's shattered reality. Salem, May 4th. As the long-running soap Days of Our Lives barrels toward the May 5th episode, the show's writers are weaving a classic tapestry of emotional turmoil and high-stakes maneuvering. Tomorrow's installment promises a stark contrast between public declarations and private breakdowns, with two seemingly disconnected storylines colliding thematically. The desperate plea of one man for companionship, and the silent collapse of a teenager under the weight of her own choices. At the center of the storm is Alex Kiriakis, played with roguish charm by Robert Scott Wilson. Long known as Salem's alpha playboy, Alex has spent months navigating a murky love triangle that has tested his capacity for genuine commitment. But spoilers for May 5th reveal a new layer: vulnerability. In a bold narrative shift, Alex will make a major, unexpected request of Joy Wesley, Alex Ann Hopkins. One that has nothing to do with a one-night stand or a boardroom power play. According to insider summaries, Alex corners Joy at the Salem Inn, visibly shaken after a series of recent setbacks involving his fractured relationship with Teresa Donovan and his growing sense of isolation from the Kiriakis dynasty. His request? He begs Joy to stay in town. It's not a romantic ultimatum, a show source close to the writing team explained. It's deeper than that. Alex has spent years using charm as a shield. Now, he's looking at an empty penthouse and realizing that every woman in his life, from Maggie to Teresa to his own mother, has either moved on or set boundaries. Joy represents something he didn't expect, a real friend who sees through the bluster. The scene, as described in leaked dialogue snippets, is raw. Alex doesn't offer Joy promises of love or wealth. Instead, he admits he's terrified of being alone. "I don't need another lover," he says. "I need someone who will call me out when I'm being an idiot. Stay, please." Joy's reaction is predictably torn. She arrived in Salem as a breath of fresh air, a smart, grounded therapist with no ties to the town's criminal underbelly. But she's also witnessed Alex's flirtations with deception and his habit of running hot and cold. Her decision will likely hinge on a question the show has been posing all season. Can a leopard change his spots, or is Alex doomed to repeat his father's lonely legacy? Meanwhile, across town, a quieter but equally devastating drama unfolds. Tate Black, Ariana Horton, and Holly Jonas, Salem's emerging young adult core, find themselves playing an unwanted role, witnesses to Sophia's downward spiral. Sophia Choi, Madeline Keentz, has been a simmering pot of teenage angst for weeks, caught between her overbearing family's expectations, her ill-advised romantic entanglements, and the revelation that she was carrying Tate's baby, a pregnancy that ended in a traumatic miscarriage. Spoilers for May 5th indicate that Sophia's carefully constructed facade of control finally cracks. The three friends gather at the Brady pub, ostensibly for lunch, but the conversation quickly turns heavy as they process recent events. Sophia has been skipping classes, lashing out at teachers, and, most troubling to Tate, drinking alone. She's not sad, Tate tells Ari and Holly, his voice tight with guilt. She's empty. There's a difference. The writers have taken care to frame Sophia's spiral not as melodrama but as a realistic portrait of unprocessed grief. Unlike the grand, villainous schemes that often populate Salem, Sophia's pain is internal, a slow erosion of self-worth that manifests in reckless behavior. Holly, who has her own history of substance struggles, recognizes the signs first. "We need to tell someone," she insists. But Tate, ever the loyal protector, fears that intervening will only push Sophia further away. This subplot raises a compelling thematic question for the May 5th episode. What does it mean to truly help someone who refuses to be saved? Ari suggests professional counseling. Tate wants to confront Sophia directly. Holly argues for patience. Their disagreement is not just filler dialogue. It's a thoughtful exploration of how young adults grapple with mental health crises when the system around them, parents, schools, even doctors, has already failed. The narrative brilliance here lies in the contrast between Alex's storyline and the teen's ordeal. Alex, a grown man with resources and autonomy, can explicitly ask for what he needs. "Stay. Help. Don't leave me alone." Sophia, by contrast, is a minor trapped in a web of adult decisions. She cannot articulate her pain. She can only self-destruct. Her friends are left to interpret her silence, second-guessing every instinct. This duality, the loud plea versus the quiet collapse, is classic Days of Our Lives storytelling at its most effective. The soap has always excelled at juxtaposing generations, showing how the same emotional wounds, abandonment, shame, fear of not being loved, manifest differently depending on age and power. Alex's request to Joy is, on its surface, a romantic beat. But dig deeper, and it's a middle-aged man finally learning to say, I need you, without expecting sex in return. That's character growth worth watching. Meanwhile, Tate, Ari, and Holly are learning a harder lesson, that love doesn't always heal. Sometimes, it just keeps you tethered to someone who's drowning. As for Sophia, spoilers hint that her spiral will reach a critical juncture by the episode's end. A leaked production still shows her standing alone on the Horton Town Square bridge, phone in hand, staring at a text from her mother that reads simply, "You're embarrassing this family." If that's not a cry for help disguised as a breaking point, nothing is. May 5th promises no explosions, no weddings interrupted by gunfire, no returns from the dead. Instead, Days of Our Lives delivers something rarer in daytime drama: emotional honesty. Alex's request may be the headline, but Sophia's silence is the story. Tune in tomorrow to see whether Joy accepts Alex's plea, and whether Tate, Ari, and Holly can reach Sophia before she disappears into her own darkness.